All right, hello everyone. Thank you for your patience. I'm excited to get started here today and to introduce today's Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM user group topic, the Outlook app. It's definitely popular in our user group community, and I want to be able to give it as much time as possible. But before I can hand things over to Mike Dodds, I want to go over a few things with you, so bear with me here a moment or two. I'm Julia Flaherty, Marketing Coordinator at Ledgeview Partners. For those of you that have not been on our webinars before and don't know us, we are a business and technology consulting firm who partners with organizations to transform sales, marketing, and customer service operations and processes that are supported by core technologies like CRM and marketing automation. Through different processes and solutions, our experts here at Ledgeview help you to achieve your unique business goals in sales, marketing, customer service, and CRM. We estimate that today's webinar is going to take up about 45 minutes of your time. It is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All attendees will receive a follow-up email after the webinar is complete with a link to access that presentation. So if you haven't already, go ahead and add at ledgeviewpartners.com to your Safe Senders list to ensure you have no trouble getting the email. Or if you do happen to find any email from us in spam, go ahead and mark it as not spam. We encourage you to share this within your company and your professional networks. To ensure the best audio quality, we have all of you on listen-only mode. But if you do have a question or comment, go ahead and submit those in the question pane of your GoToWebinar control panel. If we don't answer you today during the webinar, we will be sure to follow up with you afterwards as we do a full agenda today. We will, of course, be covering your user group questions you submitted prior to today's live presentation at the end of the session. On the agenda today, Mike Dodds will be walking you through the Spotlight topic, demoing it, answering your questions, and then I'll be wrapping things up by sharing some user group resources you can take advantage of later on, and you'll want to be sure to stick around because I have an exciting way that you can save on your user group summit tickets if you're interested to tell you all about later. For those that don't know Mike Dodds, he is a Microsoft Dynamics 365 certified support consultant here at Ledgeview. Our customers love his ability to save them time as he lends his energy and analyzation skills to solve their unique challenges. As our Director of Marketing, Chad Collette, often says here, Mike is also a great weatherman. So let's turn things over to him now to get the show moving. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Julia. And you can thank Chad very much for the weatherman title as well. That's always appreciated. So welcome everyone to today's webinar and for your weather report. It's sunny, finally. It only took Wisconsin, a long time to get here. So I hope wherever you are, you're enjoying the warm weather that we finally got. And with that, we're going to jump on into the Outlook app. As Julia said, this is a very popular topic. The reason being is its integration with Outlook. It's how Outlook and Dynamics talk to each other. So that naturally leads to the question of, well, which one's better? Which one should I use? The app for Outlook or Dynamics 365 for Outlook, the old Outlook client? Well, I'm going to go over some of the differences, and we'll talk about which ones we've seen some success with. So the Outlook app feature, it's not really a feature, it's the reverse of a feature, but does not work on OWA, phone, or Mac. No, the Outlook app works on all of them. Not only works on your desktop Outlook, it works on your phone, it works on Macs. So good news, Mac users, you can track emails. And it works on OWA. So if you didn't bring your work computer with you and you need to track your emails, you can go on to OWA, which is the Outlook, basically Outlook on the web. So if you go to outlook.office.com and you log into your Outlook account, you can still track emails. So it still does all those features. And you can track received emails on your phone. So it's one of those features that's catching up with how technology is going, and it's a really, really positive effect. Track and set regarding for emails? Yep, both can do it. Track composed emails? Both can do this. However, an important note is that with Mac's mobile Outlook on the web and mobile Outlook app, it's not going to work for those for composed emails or for appointments. Those are really only going to work on OWA and on your actual desktop. Okay. Now, track and set regard for contacts. This only works on the client, meaning on your desktop Outlook. Excuse me, not the Outlook client. I apologize for misspeaking there. If you have Outlook 2016 or newer, you can track and set regard contacts with the Outlook app. And this was a great feature of Dynamics 365 for Outlook client. It was a big feature that a lot of people enjoyed using. So it's still there, still available. Track and set regarding for tasks. This is something that was not brought over with the Outlook app. However, the reason it was not brought over is because this is something that is not widely used, where you're tracking tasks from Outlook into Dynamics. They still come down from Dynamics, meaning you have a phone call, you have a task, they come down from Dynamics into Outlook and appear as tasks in Outlook. One-click set regarding. Very excited to show you this during the demo. Saves you a lot of time when doing set regarding. Not a feature in the Outlook client. Shows recipient summary and information about them, including next activity and last activity. Huge tools that you can use when you're emailing and conversing with a customer. That's available on the Outlook app, not on the client. You can create appointments, tasks, and phone calls in both. You can open and create Dynamics 365 records, access entity views, create other activities. You can do this in the Outlook client, but not in the app. However, these other activities are letters and faxes, which are generally not a heavy volume activity. You can apply custom forms and business logic. The app, however, does not work offline. Apply email templates. This is something, email templates, sales literature, and knowledge articles. This is something that both can do. However, again, these don't work in Mac Mobile Outlook or the Mobile Outlook app. However, keep in mind that the Outlook client does not have the ability to track or do anything outside of your desktop. You can only do the tracking items if you have your desktop Outlook open. That's all you can do. The ability to monitor your emails after sending, Outlook app can do that. You can sort views. You can create, that's what you can do in the app. Two things it does not do, though, however, is create Word mail merge documents, which mail merge is being deprecated, that is going away, and you cannot control field synchronization. And that's a lot of features that I went through in terms of Dynamics 365 app versus the Outlook client. The biggest takeaway is the Outlook app is a lighter, easier to install Outlook integration. No longer need to install this directly on each individual's computer. This is deployed from Dynamics 365. It works in many more platforms than the Outlook client, meaning it works on your phone, it works on Macs, and it works on OWA. These are features that were not available for the client. The client is one of those features that is not receiving any more attention. The app is the direction of the future for the Outlook integration. So there are some requirements. So if you're on Dynamics 365 online, if you're Exchange Online, really the main area that you need to pay attention to is for contacts. Tracking contacts is only supported if you're on that specific version of Outlook 2016 or later. Now, if you're on Dynamics 365 on-premise and Exchange Online, you can do everything except Mobile Outlook on the web and Mobile Outlook app. That's reserved only for online and Exchange Online. Tracking contacts is also only supported on that Outlook 2016 version or later. So very important to keep that in mind. Now, if you're Dynamics 365 online, but you're on Exchange Server 2013 or 2016, tracking composed emails and appointments, you have to be on 2013 Cumulative Update 14 or Exchange Server 2016. Okay, and then tracking contacts only supported for 2016 Cumulative Update 3 and the Outlook 2016. Again, it has to be on that version or later. So there are a little bit of things to keep in mind depending on what versioning of Dynamics you're on and whether you're on Exchange On-Prem or Exchange Online. Now, if you're on-premise Dynamics 365 and your Exchange Server 2013-2016, again, you got to have the same caveats apply that were if you're online and had the Exchange Server 2013-2016. Okay. The major difference is that's not going to work for you're in the same boat as the other ones. Outlook for Mac, keep in mind, you can track received emails. That's really where your wheelhouse is. Okay, so compose emails, appointments, and meetings and contacts. You're not going to be able to do those with the Mac. However, you can still track emails where you couldn't do that before. So this is still a huge step in the right direction for Mac users. So a very, very positive step. The Outlook app requires server-side sync for email configuration, and the mobile Outlook app does not work if you utilize a hosted Exchange server. So some very important pieces to keep in mind. Now, some additional requirements. Again, you got to utilize server-side sync. Okay, have to for incoming emails and appointments, contacts, and tasks. Now, we recommend using server-side sync for all three, meaning including outgoing emails. For Dynamics 365, you need to be on Update 9.0 or newer. That's because everybody is on 9.0 or newer if you're online. For on-premise, you'll need to be on the latest patch of Dynamics 365 or on the Dynamics 365 version 9.0. What I'm going to be showing you today in the demo is for version 9.0. You have to be on Outlook 2013 or 2016 or newer. If you're using an on-premise Exchange server, again, I've repeated this a few times, but it's very important to know. It has to be 2013 Exchange server in that particular version or greater or on Exchange 2016. It's very important to know. You can only utilize server-side sync with Exchange on-premise for Dynamics 365 online and on-premise environments. There are going to be some security adjustments that will need to be made. Okay, these are available to be gone through. It's not a large setup to go through to make those security adjustments. And if you have an on-premise Exchange server and you're utilizing the server-side sync, we highly recommend that we set up a meeting with your IT department and our senior systems engineer to ensure compatibility. Now that we've got all that out of the way, let's jump into the fun part. Let's go through the demo. So I'm going to pull over my Outlook. And very important for any users and any administrators that are on the webinar today. If you do not have the reading pane, which means if you have your email and you don't have the pane where it shows your email, this portion just simply goes all the way across Outlook. You will have to double click to open your email before you'll see the Dynamics 365 with the blue D lit up so you can click it. Very important thing to remember. So click the Dynamics 365 D here. The little D is how it will show in OWA, how it will show on mobile. So that's really what you're looking for. And here it's coming up with a great message for me. It's saying, hey, create the contact first to avoid duplicates. And that is very true. I have a recipient that it doesn't recognize. It's looking at the email address and saying, hey, I don't recognize that. And it's going, okay, I can add that quickly to Dynamics. And it's saying, well, add as a contact or as a lead. Well, I'm going to add Julia as a contact. So as I click this, it's going to open up a quick create form. All right here in the pane within Dynamics 365. I now jumped into Dynamics 365. I am creating this record directly in Dynamics 365. It pulled her name. It pulled her email address. All I have to do is enter her title, put in her account name. So right here, it'll pull up recently viewed items. I can search, and I can pull into accounts directly. So if I want to go into accounts, 1812 paint and body, I can put in a description. Scroll down, I can put in the phone number. Put in a business phone, fax, put in a role. She's the decision maker. I can put in her address. Then when I have all the information, I just simply click save and close. What it's going to do as I create this, it's going to track this email against Julia. So we're going to go tracking in progress, successfully tracked. All done. So it knows it's tracked against Julia. Information right here. There's her job title. There's her phone number. Recipient. So watch what happens when I flip to another email from Julia. And I click Dynamics 365. You can also pin this so it stays. You don't have to reopen it. There's Julia. She's now a contact in here. And there's her information. Marketing coordinator. There's the phone number. And here's the account that she's associated to. So if I go, okay, well, I want to associate this email to Julia directly. I click here, set regarding. There's your one-click set regarding. No more having to search for your contact or having to search for the account that they're associated to. I can just come down here to 1812 paint and body, set regarding. Done. Now, if I want to specifically associate this one to an opportunity, and I want to go, okay, well, I want to filter this by my opportunities, which are right here. I just click on the side arrow there, bring it over. There's my lubricant opportunity. Click in there, tracking in progress, done. There's my opportunity right there. The other piece that I can do here is if I wanted to switch this, I go, I really didn't want to track it against that. I can untrack it. You always want to delete this out. Delete the email activity in Dynamics 365. So it's going to delete it out. Then it's all done. I go, I really wanted to do this against Julia's record. So I'm going to go set regarding here. Now it's tracked. Quick responses. Okay. Now I come up here and I go, all right, well, I want to add an activity. Because what Julia emailed me about is she said, hey, next week is an invisible ink. That's why you can't read it here. She really did ask me to give her a call next week regarding an opportunity. Okay. or regarding a potential opportunity. So I'm going to add a phone call right here. So owner, the subject is grabbed from right here. I can go call to Julia Rose, done. Direction, outgoing, description. So I can put in description and put in more information, but basically what this is doing is it's just grabbing the information from the body of the email and it's putting it in there. Now if I put in a due date, she wanted me to give her a call next week, and she just said mid-morning. So we'll do 10:30 a.m., save and close. So now it's all set up. There's my next activity right there. So let's say it comes to next week, Monday. She sends me another email. I reply back. I open this up and I see, oh, we got a potential phone call here in a couple days at 10:30 a.m. I simply look here. I didn't have to do anything except click Dynamics 365, look at the bottom of this, and see what my next activity is with Julia. All I had to do was respond and say, thank you for the information. By the way, looking forward to our conversation tomorrow. I'm planning to give you a call around 10:30. Will that work for you? Done. Simple. All done. I haven't had to leave this area. Or if I get information in here and it's like, oh, looks like some information changed for Julia. Like her email address changed. Okay, well I can go here, I can go view in Dynamics, I can open up the record, or I can simply click on Julia Rose here and make a quick update. So I come down here. Let's say the phone number changed to this. That's it. Come down. Hit the save button. Done. Click my home page. I'm back here. Everything's complete. Very easy to make your changes and move. So I still hold the recommendation that it's very important to do your Dynamics 365 work inside of Dynamics 365. However, we saw some instances where it does make a lot of sense to make changes within the Dynamics 365 app for Outlook, and it's easy. Phone number changed. Email address changed. Quickly make the change here. We got an email saying, hey, give me a call next week, mid-morning. Okay, quickly enter the activity in there. That information has changed. Different items like that are really nice to be able to make those quick, simple changes right in the Dynamics 365 or Outlook. You're not needing to open and go to a whole nother area like you needed to do when you were in the Outlook client. It's all right in this little pane. And it's very simple and user-friendly to move through. Now, what if you wanted to create a new email? So we go to, we'll do J Flaherty here, go to Dynamics 365. And there we go. And I want to add a template. All right, so I'm going to choose Julia, select, and now I want to do an email template. So I'm going to search for my email, or I'm going to search for one, Contact Reconnect. That's the one that I want to use. I'm going to go add the email. I'm sending an email very quickly with a lot of information that is being pulled right from Dynamics. I'm in Outlook. I didn't have to type anything in here, and I've got a nice full email that I can send to Julia. And then I can come in here and I can go, okay, set regarding. It's going to append until I send it, and then I hit send. Done. It's a really nice, easy way to have nice composed emails utilizing the power of Dynamics 365 with the Outlook app, sending it right from Outlook. Okay, so those are some really powerful items that you can do. Now I'm going to bring up our contact. I'm going to bring up our meeting here. And I apologize, I do not quite have that up. So I'm going to move this aside and I'm going to pull up our meeting. So in other words, I'm going to pull up GoToWebinar. This is an appointment. Dynamics 365. Same process. However, the organizers contact us. It's not going to recognize that. I can add them to Dynamics 365 just like before. Same process. Just like it was with the email. I can add them as an unknown. I can add them as a lead. I can add them right into the system. So if I want to add them as a lead, it's going to pop on with a quick create as a lead right here. I can do a set regarding. I can associate it to this record here. I don't need to create the contact. Okay, if it's not necessary and it's just the appointment, I can go ahead and set the appointment against this opportunity. That's how easy it is to create and track regarding these various emails and appointments right from Dynamics 365 app for Outlook. It's a really powerful tool. Now, the last piece that I want to show you is the contacts. So, if I go in here to add-ins, so you go to your three little dots, which is your overflow menu, go add-ins. Now this is going to show me my Outlook contacts. It's going to show me all of them. I have a demo environment, so there's a lot of really not full, complete, actual real names in here. So I have all contacts. If I want to look at my contacts that are not tracked, I just simply go to untracked contacts. And it's going to think it's going to find them. It's like, okay. So I want to track in Bill East. So I'm going to check mark Bill East. You can click track. I don't recommend it. Just like I always recommend doing set regarding as opposed to track. You always want to associate emails to a record, just like you always want to associate a contact to an account. So you want to do link. So now we're going to find the account that he's associated to, and we're going to search for Fairview. So I select Fairview and I go link. Now he's tracked. Associated to Fairview Manufacturing. Okay. Now if I wanted to email or set an appointment for Bill East, I just click appointment. You can grab his email address. If I want to go Dynamics 365 app for Outlook, it's going to open this up. There's Bill East, who I just created and pulled in. Set regarding. There it is. Associated against it. Send out my appointment. Very easy. It's how it's all interconnected together. You could also send them an email right from here as well. Do the same process. Send the email, track the email right against bill. Very simple. Dynamics 365 contacts. This is going to show all of the contacts. It's not just showing my contacts in Dynamics 365. It's showing me all of them. I can sort by company. I can sort by title, full name, business phone, email. Sort by all of them. You can also change your rows to show per page right here. And then you can flip back to Outlook. So this is a way that you can go in here and you go, okay, for Tiffany O'Day, I want to do an appointment. There you go, right there. So that's a way to do it. So there are different things that you can do. Here, you can come in and search. If I wanted to search for Anne, let me flip this back to all contacts. I wanted to search for Anne. There's Anne Benson right there. Okay. Then you can also do filtering. So I can filter by first name, title, company. So various different ways that you can filter your information to get to the record that you're looking for to track. Very, very powerful tool. When you're done, simply flip back to your email and you're back there. All right. For our user submitted questions for today, I'm interested in hearing, sorry about that. There you go. I'm interested in hearing about the Outlook app and the future for both the app and the plugin. Excellent question. Regarding the state of the Outlook app is continuously improving. They took an amazing leap forward from version 8.2 to 9.0. When they made that change, that upgrade, the Outlook app made a fantastic jump in terms of its abilities. There were almost all the things that I showed you today are very little of that is available outside of just the standard abilities to track and do the set regarding and items into Dynamics, which is fantastic, which is a great tool. But a lot of the nuances and the abilities to get information quickly and update information quickly, those enhancements really came, and the user interface improving really came with 9.0. So there was a huge leap forward. And this is the direction of the future of the Outlook integration. Regarding the state of the Outlook client, it is not set to be immediately deprecated. Not that we have heard it this time. We're still hearing that the plan is to have the Outlook client at some point deprecated, with the future of the Outlook integration being the Outlook app. Is the app for Outlook fully baked yet? We're still using the client add-in due to reviews that indicate the app functionality is not complete. I would say that it is fully baked. I would say that you are definitely good to go to the Outlook app. Now, it's going to depend on your email and email setup. You know, whether you have Exchange Online, whether you're Dynamics 365 Online or on-prem, it's going to vary based on those different items. Now, in terms of the issues that we're experiencing with the Outlook client versus any issues that come with the Outlook app, the issues that come with the Outlook app are far smaller than the Outlook client, where it would go down for frequently, where you would basically have to clear the cache and reconfigure. and people would get tired of having to do that and basically would say, forget it, I'm not going to use it. You don't have those kind of issues with the Outlook app, which is a fantastic scenario. I've not had issues with people having problems connecting or items like that, which is most likely the items that you were hearing. That has not happened really since for many months now, and now that they have everybody on 9.0, there's not any of those items that have come up that we've had any experience with people having. So I really feel that you're in a good place. You would be in a good place to pursue going to the Outlook app. It's also much more stable than the Outlook client. So again, that would be my recommendation, that you're in a good place to go. Without knowing your email configuration, I couldn't directly say yes, 100% go. But in terms of the client versus the app is one that I would say is in a good place to pursue. Last question is, how can we integrate the Outlook into Dynamics 365? With the Outlook app, the integration portion is a nice, clean setup. I would highly recommend that we discuss your email configuration setup, and we could then aid in your Outlook integration setup. But in terms of actually how you deploy the app, it is 10 times better than the Outlook client. Basically, all that needs to be done is, once you have the prerequisites taken care of, meaning you have the security settings in place and you have the functionality where you're utilizing server-side sync for incoming, outgoing, and appointments, contacts, and tasks, there's a section right under settings that says Dynamics 365 app for Outlook. Those that qualify or meet the ability to add the Outlook app are going to appear in there. All you simply do is check mark their name and click Add App to Outlook. If you want to add everybody, there's a button that says Add App to all they're applicable. It'll set it up for everybody. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to deploy. It's done. It's set up. No more installing it for each individual computer. No longer necessary. So I would say that with the Outlook app integration, that portion is a nice, clean, easy setup. That's how you would want to do it. But again, want to discuss your email configuration setup before aiding and telling you which direction to go. But in terms of ease and process, that's how the Outlook app would be integrated and set up.
All right, thank you for sharing that insight and providing such a great demonstration, Mike. It's nice to see that technology come to life on screen. If you like today's session, join us for the next one on June 19th at the same time, when we'll be covering the topic of security. That registration link is already live for you at ledgeviewpartners.com. So even if you're not sure you'll be able to make it as of today, I would still encourage you to register so that you can get that link on demand and have it already set up in your calendars, because we know how busy the summers can get, right? We at Ledgeview have a lot of excellent resources to offer you, whether you're interested in learning more about topics like Microsoft Dynamics and the Outlook app, or maybe about marketing or customer service or inside sales. You know, we've really put together a comprehensive library of resources that everyone can benefit from in some way. We have almost 30 ebooks in our current library, plus many, many infographics and blogs for you to choose from. We also invite you to check out our past user group webinars via ledgeviewpartners.com. To do that, simply click on Resources at the top navigation menu and then Dynamics 365/CRM user group in the drop-down menu. Then you'll be able to access what you may have missed. We also invite you to join our Dynamics user group on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/LedgeviewPartners and click on Groups in the left-hand corner below our profile picture, and you can request to join by answering two very simple questions. Finally, don't leave me yet because I have a very important note about User Group Summit to share with you. If you register before June 27th this year, you can save $500 on your tickets as a group. Don't miss this huge opportunity to save that much. We're excited to see you there and offer an additional 10% off to you using the code PRP Ledgeview. Florida sounds pretty good right now, right? It'll be even sweeter in October, my friends. All right, that's it for today. Thanks so much for sticking around, and we'll see you for the next user group webinar in June.